What's new in CloudBees CI 2.440.1.3? On February 21st, 2024, CloudBees CI 2.440.1.3 was released. In this video, we'll be reviewing the changes that came along in that release. Also on February 21st, Jenkins LTS 2.440.1 was released. On that same day, I did a video with Mark Waite talking about all of the changes that happened in that version. If you'd like more details about that release, the link to that video is down in the description. Now, if you've never taken a look before at the release notes for CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. Under the Documentation tab, click on CloudBees CI, and then under the Documentation dropdown, select Release Notes. And here we're on the home page for the CloudBees CI release notes. Now let's first take a look at this important block at the top of the page. If you skip versions when you upgrade, refer to previous versions of the release notes for any relevant known issues or upgrade notes. What does that mean? Well, again, the current release is 2.440.1.3. If we were upgrading from a version, let's say it's 2.414.3.8, we need to go through and check the known issues and upgrade notes for the 426.1.2 and every other release between the initial one that I'm starting at and the version that we're going to be landing on to make sure that there are no upgrade items that I need to go ahead and complete, or if there are any known issues that might affect me. As a CloudBees CI client, we recommend doing an assisted update to help make the update process easier. There's a link down in the description about how to get help with an assisted update. So again, we can see here the latest version is 2.440.1.3. You'll also notice that there are two big red blocks right below that headline. We'll take a look at those towards the end of the video. Let's go ahead first and take a look at the release notes for traditional platforms, and then we'll go take a look at any of the different items that are specific to modern cloud platforms. So for traditional platforms, at the very top, we can see that we have a new feature. Google Cloud Storage is now available for workspace caching. Late in 2023, workspace caching was introduced, but at the time, the only store that was available was using AWS S3. With this release, we're now able to use Google Cloud Storage as a backing store for workspace caching. Well, let's go ahead and scroll down to feature enhancements. With this release, 2.440.1.3, you now have the ability, from a traditional perspective, to run the CloudBees CI Operations Center, Client Controller, and agents all with Java 17. Now, for the time being, you can also use Java 11. If you need more details about how to migrate up to Java 17, there are links in the item that will help you walk through that process. Also in feature enhancements, there is a new item for CloudBees Pipeline Explorer, and it gives us the ability to have advanced tree options. So now what you can do within CloudBees Pipeline Explorer is you can show steps within stages. What does that mean? Well, users can show all the steps for a pipeline or show only steps from a specific branch. So if you haven't started using CloudBees Pipeline Explorer yet in your CloudBees CI installation, now is a great time to go ahead and install it. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the next section, which is resolved issues. We're not going to take a look at any of these items that are specific here for resolved issues, but know that there have been numerous resolved issues for high availability, for CloudBees Pipeline Explorer, and for configuration as code. Now let's go ahead and scroll down to the next section, which is known issues. And since the latest release, there is one new known issue, and that is inconsistencies between some configuration as code features and high availability. Again, this is a known issue, and this will be resolved in a future release. Let's go ahead and go down to the upgrade notes. Now remember, we saw two big red blocks on the homepage for the release notes. This is one of them. The DevOptics plugin has some incompatibilities with Java 17. Number one, if you're not actively using DevOptics, don't upgrade to the most recent DevOptics plugin, which is 2.0, or be sure to not upgrade to Java 17 if you're using CloudBees CI Traditional. Now, if you're not actively using DevOptics, the best thing to do is to go ahead and uninstall the plugin. Now, you'll also notice at the very bottom a link off to the Jenkins 2.440 upgrade notes. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. What we're going to see here are there are two items about upgrading. Number one, if you're using inbound agents, the JNLP URL argument has been deprecated and instead using -URL and -name. Also, if you're using configuration as code, a previous entry used to be disk space monitor. Now that has been changed to only use disk space. Let's go ahead and head back over to our release notes and take a look back at the Modern Cloud Platform release notes. We see our Google Cloud Storage for workspace caching, but then we have an item that is specific to modern cloud platforms. We now have controller lifecycle notifications that allow an admin to configure a webhook and controllers to send notifications to an endpoint. There is a documentation link at the bottom of this entry that will take you through all of the different lifecycles that are available for you to tie into. Again, under feature enhancements, we see support for Java 17. Now, what's a little bit different for modern cloud platforms versus traditional platforms is the images that are shipping with CloudBees CI for modern cloud platforms already have Java 17 in them. So the Operations Center image, the Managed Controller image, and if you're using the agent image, all three of those images are already using Java 17. So if you still have some static agents that are using Java 11, now would be the time that you would also go ahead and upgrade that from Java 11 to Java 17. The key point here is all of the images for CloudBees CI for modern cloud platforms all are shipping with Java 17. One other item I want to call out in feature enhancements that is specific to modern cloud platforms is the item that is listed right here. A new button has been added for rolling restart to the Managed Controller page. So right now there is a new rolling restart button which appears when the Managed Controller is running in high availability mode. Now when you click on that button, what will happen is there will be a rolling restart done for that controller. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the Resolved section. Right here at the very top, unable to configure pod templates in the Operations Center via the UI. This was an item that had regressed in an earlier version that's now been fixed. And one other item that's specific to modern cloud platforms is the specific conditions leading to the deletion of running managed controllers led to partially deleted Kubernetes resources. Now, when managed controllers are deleted, all of the associated objects within Kubernetes are also deleted. And finally, one more item that is under the upgrade notes. There is now an introduction of a concrete type for controller exposure. If you are using configuration as code to configure your managed controllers, be sure to review this upgrade note. There are a number of changes that you need to make to your configuration. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on X @CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.